This concert is really unique because we have two pieces, the first two pieces, that you probably are not familiar with, and they're written by living composers who are here. That's code for be careful what you say. So we're going to begin with a video from one of our conductors. This is from composers. This is Bernard Kane.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bernard Kane. I'm the composer of Bardsey Sound. Bardsey Island lies off the coast of North Wales. We're in South Wales at the moment, and these two islands here, Flatholme and Steepholme, are two islands that make up the 6,000 islands that complete the archipelago of the British Isles. Bardsey Island in North Wales has a 3-mile stretch between the Llŷn Peninsula and the island itself. The 3-mile journey was made by pilgrims. That was the most treacherous waters of the British Isles. Many wouldn't make that journey. I was commissioned to write a piece about that journey of the pilgrims. I was inspired by the poets Dylan Thomas and R.S. Thomas, and particularly the poem Pilgrimages and Death Shall Have No Dominion by R.S. Thomas and by Dylan Thomas. So, I hope you enjoy the performance, and just to show you, again, these beautiful islands. And the little fact is Flatholme, which has the lighthouse there, that was the first ever cross-water radio transmission by Marconi. So the first time our radio signals ever crossed the water was here in South Wales. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, emerging from the viola section of all places, is Bernard Kane.
Thank you, Maestro Brian. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's been a bit of an odyssey getting here because I was supposed to be in Los Angeles last week. And of course, I didn't go there because of the fires, a terrible situation. So I was in London and I flew into New York a few days ago, and now I'm here. So that was a little clip of me talking in South Wales about the islands that surround the British Isles. Bardsey Sound was commissioned by the priest in charge of St. Hewin's Church, which is in North Wales, in Aberdaron. Now, the Llŷn Peninsula, there's a 3-mile stretch of water, and it is, as I said, the most treacherous of the British Isles. And the priest in charge wanted to commission a work that would describe the pilgrim's journey across that stretch of water, and use the idea of Bardsey Sound, because it actually is called, the sound is the stretch of water, and then the word sound as in how it would sound. I took my inspiration from Dylan Thomas and R.S. Thomas, these two poems, and when I was commissioned, originally I was supposed to perform it, we were supposed to have it ready for June of 2012, and I had a phone call saying that unfortunately the priest, Jim, was diagnosed with leukemia, and could we have it a bit earlier? So I ran down to Cornwall, St. Ives in Cornwall, to write the work. I had 3 days, and there are 3 sections. There's a lot of symbolism and numbers with this. There are 3 sections. We start off really quiet, and then there's a storm. And after the storm bit, there's this 9th chords of tragedy, of death. And I didn't know how to finish it. I got very writer's block. So I went for a little walk to Porthmeor, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Cornwall is an incredibly inspiring place. It's the part of the pilgrim's journey towards the Santiago de Compostela, the Way of St. James. So there's a lot of energy in this particular part of the world. As I went to see the sea and get a bit of the fresh air and get my mind settled, there was a man overlooking it, the Porthmeor, that looked just like my father. It was the spit of him. My dad died 5 years before. St. Ives was a place that we'd always go as children, and we loved it so much, and so it's always been a place, a haven for me, and of inspiration. It wasn't him. I took a photograph, and I showed my family. I'm like, look at this, and they're, oh my God, that's the old man there. That's where he's been. So it wasn't, I didn't feel sadness. If anything, I felt sort of elation about that sort of idea that those that have gone, they haven't in a way. I don't know how to describe it. So I ran back to the pub. I was writing this. I wasn't actually drinking whilst writing it. I was staying in the inn of the Sloop, which was built in 1312. Incredibly old pub, and just the energy all came to me from it. So you'll hear the three sections, and the idea was that the theme that runs throughout, there's an apotheosis, and it's almost as if you're heading somewhere home. Hiraeth is a Welsh word for a longing for home. It's not necessarily that which you remember it was. It's almost something in your mind that you thought what life was back in the day, but that sort of feeling of coziness and comfort. And that was the inspiration, and that's the piece. The poems by R.S. Thomas and Dylan Thomas, the one stanza from Dylan Thomas is his first published poem, "And death shall have no dominion." And I believe it's, "And death shall have no dominion. Dead men, naked they shall be one, with the man in the wind and the west moon. When their bones are gone and the clean bones picked clean, they shall have stars at elbow and foot. Though they go mad, they shall be sane. Though they sink through the sea, they shall rise again. Though lovers be lost, love shall not, and death shall have no dominion."